Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Yeah.
And I know that you pretty much recently graduated from the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program out of our Salt Lake location. What was that, like in November?
Yeah, it was in November, the beginning of November.
Okay. And do you recall, like, how long is the DMS program, roughly?
I think it says 16 months.
Okay.
Uh, and like part of that is doing clinicals. So, but it had like it wrapped up pretty fast. I feel like I don't know.
It
It
goes
went,
pretty fast, right? So like
yeah,
when so you have like 16 months and you have clinical, so it goes 17, 18 months roughly, about a year
yeah,
and a half.
yeah.
Okay. So what overall, like, to even kind of circle back around, like what inspired you to even pursue like your degree in the diagnostic medical sonography?
Well, I worked as a veterinary technician for 5 years, and then I went into clinical research, and that's when I kind of decided, hey, I'm going to go back to school.
Okay.
And with like the veterinary experience and like the clinical research, you see a lot of things with like ultrasound, and we had like travel techs come in with like the veterinary stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think that would be cool to do with people. That would be a good idea. And
Yeah.
then when you're researching jobs, obviously you kind of look at like what the pay demographic would be for that job too. And I was like, oh, and it pays like decent. And I realized that like, hey, it's gonna pay if about the same, if not more than a nurse, and I would not make a good nurse.
I wouldn't either. I mean, kudos to the nurses of the world, right?
Yeah.
But you don't want me to be your nurse.
No, yeah. I was like, so that would be perfect. And like the technology is really interesting, and I liked that it was like a growing field too, so the job demand was there. So I just kind of like it was really fascinating, and then all the things that go with finding a career.
Yeah. So how did you even come to find out about like charter college or the program in itself there in that
I
area of Salt Lake?
I was googling programs, and I was looking at different programs. I When I was first starting like my school hunt, I was originally looking at nursing, and I was like, that's not gonna work. And so I was like trying to find different ultrasound programs, and there's very sparse here in Utah. So charter college was like the second or the third that popped up for me, and I was looking at the different programs, and I liked that it was like an accelerated program, and then it was reasonable, and obviously and honestly your guys's like team kept reaching out to me, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, right? Like,
They
why
had called
not?
me a couple times, and I was like, man, it's a sign, I'm gonna go for
Okay.
it.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the program in itself. Like, is it book work? Is it hands-on? Is there labs? You spoke a little bit about clinicals. So tell me a little bit about the program.
So each semester is 10 weeks, and you have your generals at first, and then you get started in your like sonography stuff. Um and the it goes so fast, like you get into your sonography stuff pretty quick. And then shortly after that they had us start our clinicals. So I was going a couple days a week and shadowing at the hospital and starting my clinicals. And like the teachers were super awesome. It was lab work, it was clinical work, it was schoolwork all in one. So it was a lot, but it went by so fast, and you kept pushing yourself to be better, that it was like manageable.
Yeah. And like you said, you had a little one, in tote with you, and so
Yeah.
you were still able. Did you have a support system then, to help you with your little one while you were going to school and managing, you know,
Yeah.
everything
I had
there?
I had a small support system, and I was still working while I was doing school and the little one, so she'd go to daycare. And so I just kind of worked school like a work schedule, really, is how I had to make it work. And then I had help from my family, and it was hard, but it was doable. Like,
Yeah.
I did it.
Did you kind of just have to like time manage yourself and
Yeah, like after dinner or like on my weekends, like there were no fun weekends. Like I missed out on a lot of like doing stuff with the family or going out and having fun because like I got a lot of my homework done or I would study for like like the finals or like a test um during the weekend.
yeah. Sometimes you have to prioritize like, okay, what's more important, going out and going and watching a movie with a friend or studying for that exam, right?
Yeah. Or like after dinner when your kid falls asleep, you just kind of stay up a extra couple hours just to get some extra time in. Is
Yeah,
really what it came down to.
got it. I totally get it. Yeah. Um, Now, so you've completed the program, you finished that up, wrapped that all up, and now you're working in the field. Is that correct?
Yes, I am
Okay.
working at the hospital.
All right.
I got offered a job during my clinicals as like a working student at the hospital, and then after school, we had talked about them keeping me on, and I ended up staying on after school was over.
Oh, cool. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
How exciting. So, tell me like what you do on a daily. Like what is your role at the hospital?
So I still need to take my boards. So my boards will be done here soon. The having the new baby kind of pushed that back a little bit. But I'm still assisting, or I'm still like getting thrown into exams. So they're like, "Oh, go do this abdomen or go do this pelvic." And then when I'm done, they basically just verify that my images are to standard, and then they get sent off to the radiologist. So I'm assisting, I'm doing exams, I'm talking to the radiologists. So it's everything a normal tech does. I just don't have the license yet, and so they just need to be looked at.
So they just
Just
kind
to
of review them basically.
Yeah, just to make sure I have everything that they're to standard, and then they're submitted and the patient is on their way.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool. How fun is that?
No,
Are you
it's
enjoying it?
awesome. Yeah, I love it. My hospital has an ER too, so I'm seeing ER patients, I'm seeing inpatients, I'm going up to labor and delivery, and I'm seeing like outpatients who come in just for their exams. So it's a really good variety, and I would recommend that to like all the students because you're seeing all different types of exams and patients. So it's not just one demographic versus like how some clinics are just OB or just like the general exams. You're getting that experience so that when they're done with clinicals that they can go elsewhere and be fine.
Yeah, so they're getting like like an overall concept of everything.
Yeah, like get everything, get good at everything, and then if you want to go into like a general practice where you're just doing OB or you're just doing vascular stuff, if you like it, then
Yeah.
like you at least have tried everything and got like to standard with everything before being like, okay, like I'm done. I wanna just stick with this one.
Right, right. Oh my gosh. How exciting though. I think like having a variety like every day I think that'd be more fun personally.
Yeah, I like bouncing around and like everyone's different too. So you're getting different anatomy and it's always a challenge and it's always like a learning experience, which is really good. So you're never gonna be bored.
Right, right. Yeah, you're not gonna fall asleep on the job.
No.
Um, so like obviously you're busy and you got little ones and then you work all day. So how do you for yourself, Charmaine, how do you unwind after like a long day?
Ice cream.
Did you say ice cream or you scream?
Ice cream. It's probably a little bit of both, but just having like quiet time, we'll relax and watch like a movie or like going to take like a long shower, honestly. Sometimes you just need peace and quiet.
Right? Yeah, definitely. I remember my kids were little ones and like sometimes it was just like, you know what? Like it's okay if they cry for 5 minutes. I'm gonna take a shower where I can't hear them and just want to go pick them up. So it's okay because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hear them. It'll be fine.
Yeah, or like you watch I was I call it like smut TV, or not really smut TV, but you're like watching like the dramas or something, just so you can like turn your brain off. You're
Yeah.
like, I just want to watch this reality TV show that I can judge and just turn my brain off.
I'm gonna judge them so they can't judge me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Um, can you share like a fun or like surprising fact about yourself? What's something like interesting about you?
I'm a certified scuba diver.
Really?
Yeah.
That is like so scary to me.
I love it.
Do
I
you?
think it's great.
I'm super claustrophobic, so I've always been very like scared to try that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would recommend it. At least trying it once.
Yeah.
Just try it.
I tried snorkeling and I was okay with that because I knew I could just like pull my head out of the
Pop up.
water.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. So, with this new career that you have, do you have like a goal you hope to achieve with this career?
Yeah, I just think it'd be like fun to grow and see what I can do as a tech. I think that there's always room for improvement, and like even like the people I'm working with are like, "Oh, when you first started as a student, you're like completely different." And then I know I'm going to get even better because I'm still new. So I'm sure
Right.
like going down the road is just going to get easier, it's going to get quicker. And seeing like it, like where I can work in the future, because like there are travel opportunities too. So like at if there's like ever a point where I'm like, okay, I want to travel with the kids, we can go to like Hawaii on a travel contract for a few months, and like enjoy different places.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have heard about people traveling like traveling nurses, but I didn't know um that DMS techs could travel that there was traveling contracts for that as well.
Yeah, there's traveling contracts for all of radiology, not just ultrasound, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's really cool. Like, sign me up for Hawaii, please.
Yeah, that would be
I
great.
yeah. What advice, like if somebody was thinking about going to charter college for the associate's degree in diagnostic medical sonography, what advice would you give someone?
Um, be patient with yourself. And like I know like when I was first starting to get my hand on the probe, I was like frustrated that I wasn't getting it right away, or like almost embarrassed if like someone was doing it better than I did, because we all have like our areas where we do better than other people. So like that exam they might be better at, wait until you have a like your exam.
Yeah. Everyone has their own techniques and their own
Yeah.
niches where they improve. And sometimes too, it's just like trying, somebody might get it on their first go and somebody it might take 10 times and then all of a sudden it just like the light bulb goes off.
Yeah. And like it's like you're learning techniques, you're learning different like habits. Like it's a lot for one person to do. So it's just like being patient with yourself, because you'll get better.
Yeah. That's so cool. What was like your favorite class or course while in the program?
I really liked doing OB stuff because I was pregnant at the time. So
Yeah.
while we were doing OB stuff, we were also scanning my baby. So I'm pretty sure
Oh.
we saw my baby like once a week at least.
You're like, "Hi,
Yeah, so
baby."
I got to see her from like the time we could see her at 6 weeks all the way till I pretty much delivered.
Oh my goodness. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so I got to see like the whole development while we were doing all like the OB stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, and it really helps me and the other student that I was with, like it helped us learn it better too.
Right, right. Yeah. That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
Who would you say has been like your biggest supporter throughout like your educational journey?
Both my parents were really supportive, especially like financially, because I was there was a point where I did have to like quit my job because I was doing full-time clinicals just towards the end, and they were helping me financially. And my sister, she would come and pick up the babies for me, or like pick them up from daycare so I could just meet her at my house. When I got to that point where it was really busy, and it was really helpful.
Yeah. So definitely like the family support. How nice is
Yeah.
that? Goodness. Um, with going to charter college, what would you say was kind of like the culture or like the overall dynamic? Was it like large class sizes, smaller class sizes? Did you feel like it was comfortable? How did you
Yeah.
feel just attending?
So my class was the first DMS class at campus, so I'm sure
Oh,
it's
okay.
gonna be a little bit different for some further classes. For me, it was just me and one other girl, so we had a lot of one-on-one time with our teachers. We had a lot of hands-on experience, and like we had a really close relationship with our teachers as well because it was just us.
Yeah. So you guys
And
were, so
so,
you're the very first students and the very first graduates then.
yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But like everyone was like warm and inviting, and we all had a good relationship because it was just us.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit different, but like I all the like the campus people and like the teachers, that they're just warm and inviting people, and they do give you hands-on time, and they try and give you one-on-one time. I'm sure even with a big class they'd still keep that standard.
I got it. Got it. Um, you know, kind of looking back and thinking about going through the program and everything, and like you said, you were looking, online about a DMS program and then being called. Um, what would you say, to somebody that, is looking for a DMS program and getting a phone call from charter college, what advice, would you give them about going to charter college?
Um, I'd say like you're the only one who can make that choice for you. But in regards to it, like if you weigh out like the pros and the cons, there's a lot of pros when it comes to an accelerated program. There's a lot of pros when it comes to having people like a smaller class, because not all the programs have a smaller class. Um, but just making sure that they look at the pros and like the layout of like the program itself.
Yeah. I like that, definitely thinking about the acceleration, right? Like, is that going to fit in the niche of your life? Like,
Yeah.
how busy work wise and family and all of that. But if you can do it,
Yeah.
and you want to get to work right away, right?
Yeah. If you want to do less school, it's not less school, it's just like really compact, but if you can handle doing like a fast-paced school, I would go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Charmaine, is there anything else that you would like to share with people that are going to watch this or that read this interview?
I wish everyone the best of luck because that's all you can do. And I had a baby, and I had to tell myself it's like the only person who's stopping me is me
It's true.
from from going to school. Like even if it's like not financially amenable, or you have like concerns about like putting yourself through school, because putting yourself through school is scary. The only person stopping you is you.
I agree. I totally agree. Charmaine, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I know how busy you are and you've got little
You're
ones and
good.
working full time and a new career. And I'm so proud of you. And, congratulations with everything you have going on. And, kudos to your mom and dad for the support and your sister, like great people.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time for me.
Absolutely. I will let you get back to your little ones and you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, you too. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.